Hello, I'm Icebergs, Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. This is probably a secret one, maybe, and today I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be mining icebergs made of packed ice pretty much non-stop. It's going to be a fun little stream, but first I have a little bit of a sneak preview. As of the recording of this live stream, we're pretty close to halfway done with rebuilding the Nether Fortress. Here's what it looks like so far. I'm super hyped for this. It's been so many hours of rebuilding it, but it's coming together and it looks pretty cool in my opinion. So there you go. There's a little bit of that. In case you're curious, it was my birthday yesterday. My intention was to do a birthday stream, because you know that's a streaming thing that I was like, you know, that might be fun. Streaming on my birthday sounds like it would be a lot of fun. But honestly, at the end, I was like, you know, I've got two choices here. I can stream, or I can lazily sit on the sofa. I think I was drinking like Pepsi or something. Some tasty drink than that, actually. I was drinking some tasty drink. I was on my sofa. I was playing a brand new game, Crypt of the Necromancer. Life was good, and that's what I did instead. So hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Glad the titles are back, says Miss Anna. See, after going on a big title rant, I figured, you know, who are these people to call me boss? Realistically speaking, this will probably be the last one for a while. I have the thumbnail. It's what I'm going to be doing today anyway, and I just wanted to let you know about that. So, hello, welcome to the live stream. Hope everyone's doing all wonderful. In case you're curious, live streams kind of start a little bit slow because you have to pick things up. Did you have a nice birthday? I tried to. Stream hype, says Max Lounsbury. Hey, stream hype indeed. I think it's so cool that there's like there's some number of people who are hyped to see these streams. Like I saw a guy in chat who's like, I have tweet notifications turned on to see streams. Because realistically on YouTube, that's the best way to do things. Like, the best way to get YouTube notifications is off YouTube in Twitter. Also, thank you very much for this $1 super chat. And yeah, in case you are curious, that's a thing you can do if you want to guarantee you see some future Toycat videos. But if you don't, then let me just start by saying, yeah, streams start a bit slow because, you know, people pour in, they're like, oh, the first words they're hearing is Toycat talking about how really the world would be better if we were all dead or something like that. So instead of starting with that, instead of starting a little bit confused, what if we started by talking about my love of pizza? Today, I think I pretty much just ate like pizza and salad, which is like the most, I don't know, it's like the child version of what an adult eats, I guess, or the child version of what a child eats, maybe. Can you say bruh, says Alex something? Bruh, there you go. Hope you enjoy that. I hate when people say bruh because they say it like bra, like, hey, brah, and it's like, man, you know, as much as I love calling my friends brassieres, like the female garment that goes underneath your shirt, I guess overneath your boobs. So, you know, as much as I love calling people that, to me, it just doesn't feel natural. It always feels a bit weird, a bit forced. You know, again, call me the crazy one if you like. Hey, sup Toycat, happy late birth. I was pretty cool that you recognized me in the chat. How is being 24? Honestly, the one thing that made me feel better about being 24 is one of my friends, because in the UK, most of your friends are in the same school, or like, your school year is made up of people from September to September. So being born in July, I know a lot of people who are turning 25 in like 3 months. And one of my friends was like, yeah, I'm about to turn 25. And I was like, that's a quarter of a century. Yeah, you know, you're the old one. 25 is where things get old. And honestly, I've decided, like, my actual, because, you know, the scary thing about turning older, like, because, you know, the great thing about getting older is, like, I guess there's probably more societal respect. And, you know, eventually, you know, like, something, you know, things get better as you get older, generally, sort of. But the cool thing, but the downside is that, like, oh yeah, you get closer to dying. Every year, there are things you can't do. Like, for instance, I don't know, what's a crazy example? Like, you know, after you turn 17, 18, I don't know what the legal ages are, but like, once you're 18, for instance, you don't date 16-year-olds more. Not that you want to. Like, I always used to think, like, oh, that's a downside. No, you know, it's not really. But, like, there's all these things you slowly lose the ability to do. Like, oh, yeah, you can't go to a, you know, young person's, I don't know, like, I don't know, a rave or whatever crazy things like that because you're old. You know, there's all these, you know, wild examples of things you don't really get to do after you age. So, like, you know, there's a certain point where the number of things you gain is outstripped by the number of things you're losing. But I think 24 isn't quite there yet. I think we've got a little bit of time to go, which is what I'm excited for. Someone says, Peter, yeah, right, exactly, right. That's what you'd be if you dated a 16-year-old at 18, right? Or whatever age I gave.
Yes, happy birthday, Toycat. Comment heart. Thanks for streaming. Go by the tallest principles and pizza.
Hey, thank you so much, Kyla, for the $50 super chat. Love a wonderful pink super chat. You know, that's a solid color. Matches your donation, matches the hearts, which the super chat didn't read out. Also, thank you, baby carrot. Good to see you here again. I have recognized you. I think it was the Skywars and Melon Juice stream that I recognize you from, but good to see you here as well. Okay, yeah, the Talos Principle, that's a puzzle game I've been meaning to buy for a while. Like, there's links to Portal, there's even Portal Easter eggs in it, right? Yeah, it's something, you know, I'm totally gonna give it a buy. If it's 2-player, you know, I'll make that a thing. If it's 1-player, I'll just buy it one time, like for a flight maybe, if it's on Switch, or you know, I'm gonna find some time. I'm gonna get the Talos Principle played at some point. Call my first stream Woo Cream Cheese. You know, some people, they have you know, high aspirations with their super chats. Some people, they just want to spread the good word about cream cheese because, you know, cream cheese, solid type of cheese. You know, I guess literally not solid type of cheese, right? It's literally what even is it? It's not a liquid. It's somewhere between liquid and solid. Also, why'd you play the Bedrock edition over Java? Yeah, most people who play Minecraft, let's say seriously, for lack of a better word, play Java, right? That's at least on YouTube. But that's mostly because they've been, you know, like doing it for so long that way. It's just the default way. Love videos. Happy birthday as well. Thank you very much. I like Bedrock because it's different, and I like Bedrock because there's not as much stuff out there. You know, I think one, it's good to be unique, and two, I've got this serious commitment to like console, both as a whole, but also console Minecraft, right, on my channel. And if you're playing console, Bedrock is your only option. But if you're playing you know, PC, you can play Windows 10 and Java, and there's a lot of reasons to play both. Whereas otherwise, it's kind of thing. Also, now I've noticed I'm out, says Kyla. Where are you off to? Have a good evening, I hope. Just come in, spread the love, get out. You know, that is something that I was gonna make some inappropriate joke there, but you know, I'm not gonna. I like coming in, spreading the love, and that is a wonderful thing that you did there. Thank you very much. How nice. Look at me, not even making jokes. That's the thing I've done because I have matured since I was 23. Cream cheese is sacred. There should be laws dictating its weekly consumption. What is, in your opinion, the worst store? It says Curb is cool. Always confused by the Curb is cool super chats, but to answer it, I think it's gotta be, I don't know, gold would be the worst if it wasn't useful for beacons, I think. Like powered rails, they're nice, but what else? Like golden food, I guess, stuff like that. I guess it maybe coal, because coal is otherwise used, like, you know, coal is entirely replaceable. Every other ore you'd miss stuff. Redstone, I know some people like, but on Bedrock it's not so important. That's the thing. Also, wasn't expecting a stream. Happy birthday today. My birthday was yesterday. Again, it's really confusing because, like, I did all my birthday stuff on Saturday, Friday. I don't know days anymore. I did all my birthday stuff on Friday, and then, you know, maybe I did some recovering on Saturday. Maybe it was so intense of a day that that's what we did the next day instead. And now I'm kind of just back to this. Why are you mining ice? What is the point of all this? I don't understand, says Rusty. So I work on a lot of survival projects on this channel to keep things simple, and this is one of them. Oh, actually, you know, okay, so again, I try not to be the person who overhypes things too much, so again, I'm just letting you know because this is a big part of what I'm doing in my life right now. But my latest server project video is finished, and it should be up on Tuesday. And my next project video, you know, building the Nether Fortress, because I'm doing... If you don't know, in Minecraft, there's always a big project I'm working towards. Sometimes it's multiple. Right now, it's multiple. Right now, I'm making a huge boat pathway, which is going to go past my overworld Nether Fortress. I've destroyed an entire Nether Fortress. I'm building it in the overworld, and that's going to be something that'll be a video in like a week, hopefully, if we can get that edited. Well, I've got to finish it in the next few days. Then we're going to try and edit it in like 3 or 4 days. But then, as well as that, the next server video is going to be out. There's like, I'm so hyped for like the next few days, yeah, like week or 2 of like Toy Cat videos, because we also got a theory video. I've got a video telling people why they're wrong about things, which is basically my favorite thing to do in life. Happy birthday, you've gained another year of wisdom. Honestly, one of the things that I think I've learned to do it now, but is to accept wisdom from people, like so one of the things I hate is people who say respect your elders based on they're older than you, respect them. It's like, no, you being alive for a long time doesn't earn you automatically respect, at least not from me. Like, you know, again, you can call me crazy for that one, but I don't think, you know, you might be 18 and so much smarter than me. You might be 16 and smarter than me. It gets less likely the younger you go. Also, what are your thoughts on balloons, says Curl, it's cool. You know, I really love balloons because, you know, as a child, you pop them, it's fun. As an adult, it's a sign of, like, effort. I've said, you know, this is one of the weirder things in my life, but I love when people put effort into things. Like, if it's something I've explicitly said that I like, or it's something that I explicitly, you know, like, that is known that I like, That's what I really like from people. A lot of people prefer that people like guess what you like and, you know, like put some effort in and like pretend they didn't. But I just love knowing someone cares about me X amount and they're going to put it into effort. And balloons take a lot of effort. So when someone does that for me, it's cool, right? What are your thoughts on the oh wait, one sec. I think there's another super chat before it. I'll read them out in the order they go on screen because it gets very confusing otherwise. Next, mining lots of IBX toy cats for 9 hours. Down straight, that's a good idea. My cousin met an old lady that called him an idiot because she thought he was gay. And okay, so an old lady. Yeah, again, old people have a very
15
distinct.
American cents for you, my good friend. Also,
Hey,
what are you going to
I think
do
that's
about
spelled.
the snow? You're gonna shovel it up?
So yeah, the snow is actually useful for me too. It's not necessarily the same level of useful because you can get snow. You can actually, I think, farm snow automatically. But I'm gonna gather it up anyway because it's useful. I would say. So yeah, I'm gonna use a shovel for the snow. What are your thoughts on the concept of adulthood / coming of age in various cultures? Also, a friend who watches you now calls me a lice of Earth. Thanks. Hey, I made the name stick. I made a lice of Earth more, you know, the default name over. I think it was just Elizabeth, but spelt different, right? But I like Elizabeth a lot more. I'm glad I made that happen. I think it's a fun, quirky difference, right? Like it's one of the few ones that matches and seems like it's good. But yeah, the concept of adulthood, I think it's strange that there is, like, fixed limits, because I think there are 20-something-year-olds that aren't adults yet, and I also think the reverse is true. I think there are definitely, you know, 17-year-olds who have been raising their brother and their nephew and are fully independent. I think throwing an age on it is just a good catch-all solution, because it's kind of like, if we don't have a perfect system, we should go for a good system. If we don't have a good system, we should go for an okay system. Rather than saying because we don't have a perfect system, we shouldn't have an okay system. That's kind of my thing. It's like, you know, everyone should know that, you know, 18 is there for a reason, and you've got to have really good reasons to go against that system. Kind of like, you know, we have a system where you shouldn't commit murder, but if, you know, I've said before, there are situations, very few and far between, where you should commit murder. Like if someone says, you know, I'm gonna blow up this city unless you kill someone, and you know for a fact that they literally can and will, then you should murder someone, right? So, but the rule of do not murder or thou shalt not murder, it works as a whole. We should still keep it around, even though in that one situation you shouldn't. Also, thank you, by the way, the person who gave me $15 American. And yeah, I've got 2 solutions actually. What you can also do, I'm not sure if this works, so I'll find out. But I think I could just honestly get rid of it with torches. How does that even work? I think blue ice doesn't melt, so I'll place a torch there and we'll see what happens. And maybe it works for me. Proof global warming as well. Real. Yeah, if you look, this is right next to a savanna biome. That's the jungle here. This is my little. Oh, did that melt? Did you see that? Am I crazy or did that melt? I'm honestly not sure. Can you say hello to my friend Doggy? Yeah, you don't have a friend called Doggy. That's not a real name. They don't get a hello because they're not real. I mean, they might be. But that's a thing. I stopped paying attention, then just heard Twig talking about murder. Look, I'm just saying, murder is, you know, sometimes very few and far between. You get bad pizza, and sometimes you should commit murder. They're very rare situations. You don't even need to think about them if you don't want to, but you can't deny that they do happen sometimes, and that's all my point is here. How useless do you think polar bears are in Minecraft? Honestly, you could remove polar bears tomorrow. I don't know how long it would take me to notice that, honestly. I don't honestly know. Like, it would take some serious time before I was like, oh, wow, polar bears are gone. Oh no, I can't get fish? Yeah, like, polar bears are a good way to collect... No, they're not even a good way. They're a bad way to collect fish. That is the extent of polar bears' usefulness. I just joined, we're talking about murder. Okay then, says Leah Nicole.
Digging Bedrock for 24 HS. Gone wrong. Police called. You are welcome for a new video and stream idea.
Wait. So, okay, thank you, Almighty AJ. I just realized they're Australian dollars, not American dollars, so I'm confused by the American cent thing. But let me just quickly say, so just so you know I'm not stealing your idea, I made this video, it's gotta be 6 months ago now, like maybe even before the new year. I made this hour-long video basically making, because someone sent me an email saying, I'll edit your videos because they look terrible, basically. And I was like, screw you, man. So I made an hour-long video that was just boring, and I was like, make that entertaining if you're such a good editor. And then he said, sure, I'll edit that. And then went missing for years, still hasn't responded. Then I sent it to someone else, and that person's gone missing. I have this video that's the most boring thing in the world. It's just me mining Bedrock, me drinking water, me not reacting to Minecraft memes. I don't know, like it's everything you don't want in a video, right? And yeah, the video is literally killing people. I don't I don't understand any of it. WTF is that voice, says Ryan Augustin. That's my wife, thank you very much. Me and the super chat voice, we've got a good thing going on here, and I don't appreciate your tone. Ooh, fell through the ice. I guess we could probably mine some blue ice from down here, or like work out a way back up from the ice. It's really terrifying when you get below here, because you could make a mistake and get trapped down there. But we didn't make that mistake today. Or maybe we did. I still seem to be trapped here, do I not? Okay, so let's mine into the iceberg, I guess. Remember me, it's Kanye West. I'm broke now, bye, says Steve. I really don't... I'm not going to remember you as Kanye West, Mr. Steve with a SpongeBob picture. I just feel like there's a lot of reasons for me not to. But no, one of the things I was thinking about recently, because, you know, again, on the whole, like, murder's bad, is it? Having generalizations is a good thing, just because, you know, I think that there should be easy decisions and there should be hard decisions. In general, you should usually eat salad, right? Or, like, not salad. Salad's awful. By the way, you know what? In case you think Toycat is the most epic gamer, that's all I'm going to say, says Grant Mianla. I would like it to be thrown out there. By the way, thank you, Grant Mianla. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you for the post-birthday epic gamer wish. But, oh, Toycat, I have a map cooked up for a new minigame.
Cat. I have a map cooked up for my new minigame, Explosive Survival, where any arrow fired spawns ignited TNT. Could we try it one day for a members event? It is loads of fun.
So it's just survival, but with explosive arrows? Honestly, that sounds like a fun add-on anyway, like, just to goof around with. That might be a thing we have to do. Also, thank you for the 666 super chat. Hail Satan, love your streams, buddo. See, I had that church to Satan, and now this sort of a super chat really feeds into that perception that, like, you know, you make one funny joke all those years ago, and it haunts you a little bit. But yeah, thank you for the 666. I love that Satan gives me 666 in a live stream. This is the sort of live streaming content that you need to be seeing. Debate between paper and plastic straws. See, look, again, as much as I know this is just trying to bait me, I want to take the bait. Paper straws just aren't straws. It's like saying, how about we debate between, you know, like, I don't know, real human beings and, like, marsupials. You know, like, which would you rather kill? One marsupial? I don't know what marsupial is. Would you rather kill one, like, I don't know, spider or one human? And it's like, oh, that's really hard to say because spiders are so valuable. No one cares about, it's pronounced Mounier. Oh yeah, it's got like a fancy thing. Thank you, Grant Mounier. Apologies for mispronunciation. Big sadness on that one. Also, yeah, the member thing sounds like a fun idea. We should maybe organize one of those eventually. Like, it was always such a hassle, but again, I think after the summer's come and gone, I think it'll be a good time to like set all that stuff up because the summer's just so hectic for me. If you don't know, so like this month, I've been, you know, like I've had some visitors round. It's been a visitor round. It's been a fun time. It's No Fly July. It's a whole fun thing. But then for August, I'm going to separately for different reasons Mexico twice, and then I'm also going to America. Like it's the busiest, needlessly, you know, like packed months with things. So that's the whole thing. Luke Horner says, just use your tongue. But yeah, no, here's the thing about plastic straws, paper straws, right? Paper straws just aren't straws, in the same way that spiders aren't people. You can't be like, oh, is it okay to kill spiders? You know, if you consider ecologically speaking, maybe not. But they're not people. You know, if you're like, oh, would you rather your son die or a spider die? You'd always pick the spider. And, yeah, it's a number in situation. In the same way, no one who's ever tried a paper straw who enjoyed plastic straws has ever gone, yeah, this is a good replacement right here. You know, this is a wonderful way to get liquid into my mouth. No, it's people who don't use straws who get to feel superior, like, oh, they gave me a paper straw instead. Look how nice this is. Sometimes you get paper straws for milkshakes, which is literally the definition of, you know, like, defeating the point of a thing. You can't get milkshake through a paper straw. I think we're slowly starting to work out how to make good paper straws. But I think the amount of card you use them anyway negates a lot of the environmental impact. And it's like, you know, as people, we, you know, especially younger people, we're doing a really good job at arguing like, yeah, we should fix the world, make it not so climate polluted, etc. But then at the same time, we're accepting bad causes. Also, it's Grim someone else a deep Q and it ends up talking about murder or some equivalent. Anyway, I need gas money, so this will be it. Elizabeth out. Thank you, Elizabeth Shook, for the $5 super chat. Thank you for giving me money, even when there is a gas tank that is unfilled. I'm assuming that's what that means. I'm assuming that's a correct sentence to say. Really do appreciate it. Don't use straws, simple. See, but that's the thing, right? Like, the simplest solution, because a lot of people say, don't use straws, Toy Cat. Why even need straws? But there's a reason we invented straws in the first place, right? But they're not useless, and if they were useless, they wouldn't have caught on. If, you know, if straws were so bad, then wouldn't we have just moved on from straws? No, a lot of people quite like straws. You know, I'm a straw enthusiast. You might say, no, Toy Cat, you can't be passionate about straws. I'm passionate about straws. I love straws. They can take a drink from a 6 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. They can take a drink that's a lowly 7 out of 10 and make it a 9 out of 10 experience, you know? It's kind of like, I don't know, like if you're a girl, you know, you can put on makeup that makes you an extra like 2 points on the system. If you're a guy and you do some exercise and you know don't smell bad and you're you know, like you can add an extra point out of 10. Like in the same way, like, you know, women can. There's techniques to enhance or de-enhance yourself, and in the same way, you can enhance a drink. No one, imagine if I said, oh yeah, just don't wear makeup, just don't, you know, use deodorant. It's bad for the ozone. That would be ridiculous. There's a reason we invented ozone. There's a reason we invented all these different things. These are forward enhancements that we're trying to undo instead of. Anyway, it said Santa, not Satan. Also got to go. See you next stream, maybe. Did it really say Santa? Well, my bad. Those stereotypes, though. I mean, it basically is stupid problems require stupid solutions kind of thing. I do love stupid problems requiring stupid solutions. That is my favorite next level thing. I know, in my opinion, it's just like, I think it's really easy to tell other, like, when you don't enjoy something, it's really easy to tell other people not to do it. You know, I don't enjoy... Invented ozone. I don't enjoy, for instance, playing creative Minecraft. Like I play survival. That's the whole spiel on this channel, right? But you know what I don't say? I don't say why you even play. You know, like you shouldn't play creative Minecraft. Like it's not even that good. No, I understand lots of people enjoy it. Just because I don't do something, I understand other people do enjoy it, and you shouldn't get to be like, well, you shouldn't do your thing. You know, like especially if you drive or something. Like there are huge sources of things, and straws are like this tiny drop in the ocean. You get it, like environment drop in the ocean. High quality, I know. And we focus on them and miss the real problem, which is, it's tragic, because this happens in so many different arguments too. Like, when you get bogged down on a tiny detail, you can miss the bigger picture on so many things. Like, I think this is how a lot of like relationship arguments go. Like, you're arguing about something inconsequential, rather than some bigger issue that's happening in the background. And, you know, like, it's easier to solve those. It's also how, like, sales works. Like, what you do when you're a salesperson is you invent a really easy to answer question that, you know, looks like you can't answer it, then you go for it. Like, there's a lot of weird techniques of that. Plastic pollution or deforestation. Yeah, there's actually a lot of, like, different, like, there's plastic pollution, there's deforestation, there's carbon emission. There's all these separate things that people like to act like they're the same thing, like the environment. No, the environment is a very, again, it's easy to simplify things down. It's easy to pretend that, like, you know what, you know, Toy Cat, how you've said that, I don't know, like your views on this are really complex. I'm gonna simplify your views and say that you just hate the environment. That's like what I mean. One, how do you hate the environment as a whole? And two, you know, I just want my straw. I just want a drink with some thing in it. I just want to, you know, I don't know, use deodorant in the morning. I just enjoy when you know, your favorite ladies use makeup or whatever. Like these are things that it's okay to enjoy because that's the world. And if someone says that it's not okay to enjoy a thing that is widely enjoyed and consumed, then, you know, maybe take that into account. But, you know, they also do lots of things that are bad. This is true for so many people actually. I had a friend that was really like I don't know, like pro animal, I guess. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like they loved animals. And they're like, oh, we should be doing this and that for animals. But they didn't neuter their cat. Their cat had kittens, and they tried to give them the kittens away. And it's like, you just created a huge problem, right? Like, if you love cats so much, instead of like pushing 7 kittens on friends that really don't want them, but by saying like, well, they'll die otherwise, instead, encourage your friends to go to a shelter and save some cats that way, right? Every single thing, there's like different ways you could do things if you want it to be the most efficient way, and everyone gets things slightly off. Anyway, German update or Alps update, German's Alps or cave update. I'm gonna try and move on from that topic because I could talk about it forever. That person, they said one thing and they triggered like 10 minutes of discussion, but that's half the fun, right? So yeah, how's everyone doing today? You doing good? I'm doing kind of good. I had pizza, which, like I said, is like, I know when you have a particularly good pizza, it just hits the spot perfectly, right? But the problem with straws is that it's really easy to put on the ground. It's not really something that's necessary. Yeah, you could say the same about straws. You can say the same about cars. Like, why are cars necessary? Like you can say the same about much bigger things. Is your thing? I tried lime scooters the first time this week because of you. Loved it. Treat this as a justification for Toy Catch, yes. Where do you live that you have lime scooters? I've always assumed based on the name that you're Polish in some way, and I didn't know that they'd came to like. In my head, it's like there's like 5 Western European cities with lime scooters because they're really big in America, but the regulation for scooters is like really, really light and on the ground in Europe, especially the further east you go. I assumed, or maybe it's different in the east. Like the laws are especially weirdly put together in the former socialist countries. I had vegetarian sausages today. It was weird. Oh, vegetarian sausages is one of my favorite things. Like, again, I could be that guy who's like, we should all drink vegetarian sausages. Eat vegetarian sausages. You can drink them too, I guess. Get your cat's Newton sprayed, says Ariel. Thanks. Yeah, okay, you know, let me have that message out here right now. If you're considering buying a cat at some point, that cat should not have reproductive like in the same way that imagine if when you bought a plastic straw, if you hate plastic straws, imagine if your plastic straw, if you left it alone with another plastic straw, it created 9 plastic straws. You'd be pretty fast like, oh, we should get that ability removed. But people have this with like cats, and it's like, man, it's cute, but it's also, I don't know, it's a horrible thing. My cat had an abortion once, by the way. Like, I don't want to. By the way, beat up the icebergs. I'm gonna beat up the icebergs as best as I can. Global warming sims, as that makes sense. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. This is just a wacky thing. I've never heard anyone else having this, but my cat had an abortion once, and I just think that's the wackiest. Like, is that a personal subject? Can you tell the internet about that? Like, it's something I don't talk about very much. But you know, because it's a very personal topic. But can you talk about these things? I don't really know. I live in Warsaw. Grasavi is not my name. My name is Martina. I tried them in Germany because I visited Berlin with my sister. Oh, right. You tried them in another city. Oh, there's lime scooters in Berlin. I should go to Berlin. That's what I'm taking from this. Yes, preach. I have 2 male cats. They try to kill hamsters. You know, animals don't like other animals. It's crazy. Was it a medical reason? I don't know the full story on why, honestly. I just know it was like she was pregnant, and then a little while later, she was not pregnant or able to be pregnant again. I never really asked the details because it's not really like. Again, I just feel like of all the topics that are fun to discuss in a live stream, especially a Minecraft live stream, it's fun to discuss in general. Like cat abortions are just low on the list to me. But fun fact, that is a thing that has happened at one point. That's a procedure that exists in the world. I guess it's not controversial, like the human equivalent. Also, but negatively, you see what I mean. Do I see what you mean? What do you do in your life except done stuff, says fun games? See, fun games. One, I doubt your name is actually Fun Space Games, so checkmate there. And what do I actually do in my life? Honestly, yeah, sometimes I wonder, like, I don't know if I have the right hobbies, because does anyone ever get this feeling where they're just like, man, I either have too much time or too little time constantly. I never feel like I've balanced my life just perfectly. I always feel like I need to take on more, like, mini hobbies or fewer mini hobbies. Again, call me crazy if you like, but that's how my life kind of is. So what do I actually do? I really, really, really like food. Like, I know food shouldn't be a hobby, but I swear to God it can be. Like, if you're into getting, you know, like different, you're trying a bunch of, you know, different foods, or like, you know, going to places trying to find the best food. It's like one of my hobbies. One of my hobbies is just gaming as a whole. Like, I've been playing a lot of Crypt of the Necromancer recently. Also, why aren't you using shock boxes for the ice? It would be easier to transport. It's because I'm combining it up into blue ice. Even if I mine this entire place, I might get 20 chests worth of packed ice. But then by the time that I've what's the word? Combined it, then that's a whole thing. Someone's going on a whole abortion rant here. Again, I'm talking about it was a cat version. Please don't like again, when it comes to like, especially issues of like, let's call it issues of morality like that, you're never gonna get a productive conversation telling someone. No one's ever gonna be like, you know what, I didn't see it your way before. You know, before I thought it was like You know, like this, that. Before I thought that it was a life, and now you've convinced me that it seems as though no one ever changes their mind. So instead, you don't discuss it because it's just not a fun thing to do. Compressed. Yeah, I think compressed is the right word for it. Like compressing the ice down into fewer ices. But yeah, I travel a lot as well. In case you're curious, that's my other hobby that I would say I mostly do. Plug your phone in, says Minecraft by Design. You know, my phone is on 15%. I probably should plug it in. Thank you for the tip. I don't know why I don't know who you're talking to. It wouldn't make sense for it to be me, but just in case, thank you anyway. We are watching Toy Cat and Mine Ice and talk about cat abortions. Damn straight we are. That's a quote you can put on a tea towel. Please don't put it on a tea towel. Why are you using a white bed? I am very poor in this part of the world. I've got no dye on me. There's no dye easily around. It's rough times in the Toy Cat world. It's rough times over here. That's why you can do such a good Dutch accent. My Dutch accent is very good. That's Indian again. God damn, every now and then I do like 10% of a Dutch accent, but I can't put it off to go. I am from the Netherlands, and in the Netherlands we like to eat the cheese and the toast. I don't know what goes with the cheese, but this is not the land. Oh, I can't do it. Toy Cat owns a cat, so he's a slave owner IRL. You know, actually, I'm just gonna non-stop read chat. That's how you have fun with this one. Please stop, says Joey. Offensive, says Leanne. You know, I try my best. I don't speak to Dutch people on a regular enough basis. That's something that'd be fun to change. But you know, the Netherlands is like right there. The Netherlands is closer to the UK than like most things. You know, it's easier for me to go to the Netherlands than like most of the UK. That's how far south I am and how close. Like it's a 40-minute flight to Amsterdam and it's like an hour 15-minute flight to Scotland. It's crazy the difference. Also, my cat's. I'm actually going to try and avoid the questions about the cat and her status of pregnancy. Again, I don't want to talk about her personal, private issues, and I feel like it's just it's never going to be in my favor. Where so people are going to be like, you know, I used to think Toy Cat wasn't okay, but then he started talking about cats and terminating their pregnancies or whatever. What do you think is the most suitable age to get married, and what's the maximum age difference between the couple in your opinion? Says Tay Cookies. You know, let's take a serious question here, shall we? I'm gonna try my best because I think so far we've just discussed nonsense. Let's try and do serious, chat. Let's do it. Serious question. What age should people get married at? So assuming that you don't believe that marriage is a scam, opinion on the Area 51 topic, it's a meme, right? If it's not a meme, it's stupid. I would love it if it wasn't a meme, but I think it's a meme, and therefore it's funny. Two of my friends got online and they hit a fire hydrant. One broke his nose, the other got stitched in his forehead. By the way, this was in Greece. Man, they have lime in Greece. I might have to go. Every single summer, I want to go to Greece, but it's so expensive to go there. So, like, I guess next winter, I'll head to Greece, use some of those scooters. It'll be great. Love your stream, so much philosophy. By the way, birthdays are a our birthdays are super close. Mine's the 11th. Happy birthday. Thank you, Jonathan Michael. I'm glad you enjoy the stream so much. It means a lot to me that you decided to super chat, or not super chat, do the thing down below. But yeah, so serious talk. Everyone in chat's like got their own numbers. Most people are actually saying between 20 and 30, which is interesting. So honestly, I would say the right answer is probably different depending on your gender. Like again, there's a natural bias between like I feel like there is a natural age gap that makes sense, or not makes sense, but like seems to occur between men and women, right? That's just a thing that seems to be a thing. And there's also like you know, the clock is ticking slightly differently depending on which gender you are too. So I would say if I had to come in here with my best estimate, I'd say like, you know, somewhere between 25 and 30 if you're a lady. And for a guy, it's just like, you know, when you found the right woman, preferably before you're like 50. Because, you know, you wanna have that marriage when you're like young enough that your parents are alive, right? Because your parents need to see it. Also, who can afford to pay for a wedding? Like, have you ever looked up what a wedding costs? That's not a cost that a reasonable person can pull together. So either you have to be rich, or you have to have parents. And if you want to have parents, they've got to be alive. And for your parents to be alive, you've got to be somewhat young. That's my tactical, what's the right age to get married? Because the correct answer is just whenever you find someone. There's no point getting married to, like, someone you hate the guts out of. Or maybe there is. Like, maybe that's how you diplomatically learn how to deal with people you don't like or something. But I think there's I think the easy answer is our wedding was 5K. See, I think that's on the lower end of weddings too, right? I think a lot of people spend significantly more than that. Like, I'm not saying that that's a cheap thing in any way. I'm saying, like, it's good that you did that. I think my dog is a cat, says, is talking about the cat thing. That's kind of funny. Or a courthouse wedding. Say for a house or rent instead. Yeah, right. I think especially, like, in an age where there's, like, excess, weddings make sense because you're showing off your plentiness to your wife's family or something. But in the modern age, most people struggle non-stop. If you're, like, if you're not showing off your finances and your ability to have something, I think a house would be a way better investment for any marriage than a marriage. Like, the physical act of having a wedding, right? That's such a, to me at least, again, this is my impression, that seems like it's a very, to me, yeah, that seems like it's a very impractically expensive kind of thing. Especially, like, if you need to put some money together for this, that should come much later. But that's my kind of thought on that one. How can gender matter when you get married? There's normally a man or woman, so how can men get married for females? Yeah, because you can have an age gap. Like, if the average man gets married at age 25 and the average woman gets married at age 30... No, wait, other way around. If the average dude gets married at age 30 and the average woman gets married at age 25, then obviously you could have the average age gap be 5 years. So there'd be some 27s and some 22s, some 32s and some 27s. You get the point there. What about just courthouse marriage? I don't know, honestly, I used to be... Okay, let me tell you about my journey on marriage, right? Because, thank you, Minimum12. Appreciate the super chat. Let me tell you about my little kind of journey on this one. Because when I was younger, I was like, the whole concept of marriage is so beyond stupid. It's literally, this may sound stupid, but would you play a feuds? It's not like it's not an option, so it's silly to speculate. I'll say yeah, sure, why not? But it's like it's the same as saying, would you drink the grape? Would you drink the juice of a brand new fruit if it came out tomorrow? Like, sure. I mean, I'm curious. Like, it might be fun. Who knows? But it's not worth the time to speculate, in my opinion, especially publicly on YouTube. But so yeah, go back to the thing. I think I used to... This is my journey on marriage, right? I used to think, like, it's so stupid. Why does anyone want the girl... Like, you don't... No form of love needs to be validated by the government. I've never thought to myself, I love this girl so much, I can't wait to tell the government about this. Because the government doesn't play a huge role in most people's lives. Unless you're literally a government employee, in which case maybe it does. For most people, it's just a thing that exists. It's there technically, question mark. So with that in mind, like, why do you need stealth? It's kind of silly. And I know it's got religious institutions before even that, but it's still kind of strange. Leaving snow in the air is like leaving leaves on the top of trees. So then I kind of realized that the reason that marriages first came about is because it was like this big show. You're making a big public commitment. So I think having like some form of ceremony makes sense. But I also think spending 10 grand, 5 grand, 20 grand, $1 million grand, I guess that'd be $1 billion. There's got to be someone who spent $1 billion on a wedding at some point. But spending all these thousands on a wedding seems, on paper, like, oh yeah, that's a thing that it... Oh gosh. It seems on paper like, oh yeah, this makes sense, right? But then you start to think like, no, I lost my thing. Yeah, sorry, it seems silly on paper. It seems like it makes sense. But then it starts to come into... man, I got so hot all of a sudden, like... You ever have that where you just entirely lose something? I'm sorry, that's unprofessional. I'm a streamer, I should know what I'm talking about. But I don't, apparently. I got through an entire thought that I was so passionate about, and I just lost it. I just lost my entire thoughts. Oh no, I'll say, okay, so... Then I started to realize that actually it makes sense to show people in some way. I think spending a lot of money on it maybe makes sense, but if you have the money to spend and you want to have a party anyway, it's one of the most important parties you have in your life. So when you say it like that, it's like, sure, I guess. It kind of makes some sense, maybe, question mark, sort of. And then after you say that, you just go, yeah, sure. We'll leave it with that it kind of makes sense sometimes. And once you say it kind of makes sense sometimes, you can just justify it by saying, well, I guess sometimes can be forever. Also, let's turn all these snowballs into snow blocks, just to be more efficient. So if you're spending so much money and hope it'll make it better, yeah, I think that's the most stupid thing. Like, spending money doesn't fix things. It's just, that's why it should be a way to just be like, hey, I'm showing my love, and the way I'm doing it is with lots of money. Because generally speaking, this isn't true for all relationships. It's not true in the modern world. Things have changed, I know. But generally speaking, especially historically, what men brought to a relationship was resources, and what women brought was, you know, all of the other things. So, you know, you could show off all your resources by doing that. Again, nowadays, things are very different. Everything's strange and different. The world is a fun place. God, why I hate creepers so much. I have to pick all of that up and put it back into chests now. And half of it's gone below the water, it looks like. I hate... Oh, and it's going below ice. Oh, man. I hate creepers beyond everything. Oh. Well, hello, I'm BX Toy Cat. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I don't know what to even really do about it. Okay, so we're going to make a chest. And we're just going to start loading things in there. Okay, nice and easy. Just throw all the stuff in there. There's so much, like, blue ice, like, valuable resources, too. I can't even just throw them away and be like, oh, that was a mistake. I've got to make more of these. Oh, gosh. Okay, so we'll make some barrels there. We'll pick up this chest. Okay, so... Wait, this needs to be filled now. I love lectures on history of Toy Cat. Yeah, like I said, history is a really important subject. It teaches you why things are the way they are. Because, like, honestly, in a dream world, the way humans would work is we would build society from scratch. For every single new generation, you'd be able to build society the way they wanted it. Like, I think, you know, having people who are older than, like, in a dream world, if you could really engineer a world to your perfect specifications, you would have it so that everyone is born at the same time, they live until they die, and when they die, the next generation replaces them. Or maybe, like, something like that. Just because, like, there are so many things that are inefficient for young people that they exist because they were set apart by people many years ago, and now, you know, like, the fact that we have competing interests amongst competing age groups and competing all these different things in civilization, that's not ideal, right? That's a thing we wouldn't even enjoy. Did you get my super chat? It says Atomic Creeper. I'll get my email, sorry. Please don't email me unless it's really, like, most of the time I see a lot of emails and I hate myself that I read emails every time. Like, if it's really, really important and it literally has to be private, then feel free. If it isn't, then I've probably seen your email. I probably have seen your email. Assuming you sent it to me. If you haven't sent me an email, I guarantee you I haven't seen your email. If you have, I wish I didn't guarantee that I had, but I probably have. Is he making a boat bridge out of packed ice? You better believe I am. How much money do you have, says Daniel Hall. What sort of an answer do you expect from that? Like, do you expect me to go, I have £1,037,000? Would that answer actually satisfy you? I don't know. Like, you know, money's kind of a taboo topic, for better or for worse. And it's not even really a particularly fun one either. Because money is very linear in a lot of ways, but it's also not in others. I would argue, again, this is silly, but 10 million is not necessarily 10 times as much as 1 million in terms of what it actually means, or in terms of how you get it. You know, money is very simple in a lot of ways. It's a basic math concept, but it's very complex in a lot of others. So there you go. That was too much. This is nice, says Avocado Shampoo. So Cat's like global warming, he just destroys ice. Ah, that's a fun title idea for the future. I should totally do that. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the raid in Area 51? It's a fun meme. I love how human society is governed by employment. We're just like villagers, lol. Yeah, I've always thought it's so wacky that one of the first things people learn about you is what you do for a job. And, you know, a lot of people like say it's all because we're mindless drones. It's just because that's the thing you do with the majority of your time. Like, even though you might only spend 40 hours a week at your job, it's still the biggest individual use of your time. Because humans, you know, we need something to be productive with. Even if we spent 20 hours a week at our job, it'd still be the most important thing most of us did. That's why when people become parents, especially if they're like, especially if they don't work so much, that can be the bigger thing to them. Like, oh yeah, this is the thing I need to tell everyone about. This is a person I've created. Do you want to see this child I made? Do you want to see it? You want to see some pictures of it? That's why people get obsessed with that. No one wants to see your baby pictures, but you want to believe that they want to see them, and so people pretend they want to see them. And you know, like that's how things. That's how things, because you know, babies aren't like when children start being people at like I don't know, like 10, 6. When they start having real responses that aren't things you just said to them. Just woke up, have some dollars. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. But when children start becoming people, they start becoming interesting. Before that, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pretend it's interesting because that's what you'd like me to say, right? So in a similar way, how much time would you spend just counting? None, I would say. Do you want to fix your pickaxe? Says someone. Nah, he kind of sounds German. Ich bin so German. Ich bin sehr Deutsch. Recently rediscovering your channel. Oh, hey, that's kind of cool. If you, it's super cool if you, just found out about, just rediscovered the channel. It's crazy because a lot of people subscribed over the years and then, like, didn't unsubscribe, but just like, oh yeah, got less into Minecraft. And it's weird seeing so many people come back because it's like, man, this is... it's such a weird thing because they've been there the whole time, but YouTube just stopped showing them for whatever reason. And then the recent resurgence has brought it back. Like, it's so cool because, I mean, I'm having... Again, right now, mixing Dutch and German there. Ich sprechen die Deutschen in de... I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't speak languages. How old is this guy? I turned 24 yesterday. I'm almost a quarter of a century. Also, thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. Ich bin ein Berliner. Jartoikat ist sehr deutsch. Hey! I hate you for those floating blocks. I reckon we should make more of those. I reckon that's what I'm hearing from you right there, Leanne. I reckon you want more floaty blocks. And I reckon we can do it. I remember the mile-a-minute speech. Honestly, that's what you still get in most videos. I only slow down a little bit because it allows me to emphasize a bit more. Like, again, I think in conversation, speaking fast is still the most effective way a lot of the time. When you've got large groups, though, I think it's not necessarily. And yeah, I think one of the realizations I had on YouTube is that you're basically speaking to a group, not to an individual. Like, I still try with these streams especially. I'm just talking to a friend. Hey, you want to hear about that time that, I don't know, I ate some sushi and then got really sick? Yeah, that's a fun story. Do you want to hear about, I don't know, the time my school used to charge us to dress in our own clothes and then used to, like, come chase me every day because my mother forgot to give me the money? Do you want to hear about that time? You know, like, it's story time, whatever. It's fun to do. It's great enjoyment. When did you start playing Minecraft? 2011, so I'm coming up on my 8th year, or maybe I've gone past my 8th year, but I've been playing Minecraft a long time. Since Beds came out, if you want to know. I just realized the Chili stream was 2 years ago. That's got to be more than 2 years ago now. That's got to be 4 years ago, right? 2015? Thank you, Double D Mashups. What a concerning name. Double D Mashups. Well then. Your pickaxe is about to break. I reckon nah. I reckon we got plenty of pickaxe life left on this one. So we got two options. We could just stop using it, or we could do something else too. Oh, I've got to check if I have all my blue ice. I had like half a chest full. Okay, yeah, it's just separated. So we'll take all the blue ice, and we'll make a little chest just for it. All the way over here. Okay, just like that. Take the blue ice out. And then, because I want to keep a good eye on how much blue ice I have. I had 700 before all of this. So as long as I have roughly 700 now. Like, losing a little bit is fine. Losing several hundred is just hours of work gone. Okay, we didn't lose too much. We're good. Use it all up and lose it. You know, it's kind of a fun idea, right? Also, should I just get rid of this creeper? Like, okay, well, that's the worst way to get rid of the creeper. Toy Cat is no. That's the worst super chat I've ever read. Boo, boo. None of those super chats around here. We've done a surprising amount of destruction, actually. I mean, we've also got a lot to go. But maybe we should go get an efficiency 5 pickaxe. You know, maybe Elizabeth has the right idea. Blue ice looks so good in your inventory / chest. Yeah, it's a really pretty block, I would say. Blue ice is definitely... It's one of the few, like, premium elite blocks that feels worthwhile. What do you think the edge of your audience is? According to YouTube, it averages in the mid-20s. A lot of people say that, oh, it's people on their parents' accounts that weigh down the average. And I think, yeah, between 30 and 35, I think, is the age group. Well, it's like 29 to 35. I could see that age group being weighed down by maybe people on their parents' accounts accidentally watching. But I, generally speaking, make my videos with an assumption that you have a certain amount of intelligence, knowledge already. Like, I think there must be some young people who watch them. But I think the average age seems to be in the teenagers somewhere. Like, there's a lot of people above that. There's a few people below that. So let's say, like, late teenage years, like 19, 18, 17. Somewhere in there seems to be the average. But I like that we've got, like, a broad category, because it means that what unites the channel is not age group. I think that age group is such a weird thing to unite people. I think that, oh, you're 18, I'm 18 too. That's not a good reason to be friends. I mean, I guess maybe it is because you're both in this. 18's a maybe bad example, but oh, you're 23? I'm 23 too. Oh, look at the chat. We got a lot of numbers here. So many 16s in a row, which was basically my point. And then there's a guy who's verified who was... Oh, I thought he said he was 12, and I was like, whoa, there's a guy who's 12 and verified? Good job, but he's been watching since he was 12. How old are you, Too Quick? I'm curious. Have you been watching since you were 12? Because one of the things that I've always wondered is, like, I think at one point my audience was, like, lower teens, like, because it's always been older than the general average, like, you know. The average Minecraft age for a YouTube video, especially on the Xbox, was, like, you know, 8, 9, 10 at one point, and my audience was, like, low teens then. It seems like it's a lot higher now. Yeah, like, Too Quick's 17. I think Too Quick, you might be, like, a perfect example of, like, I think the channel's audience has grown up. And I've kind of grown up too. Like, I was 13 when I started this channel. And now I'm 24. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, I would have been 13. I was literally 11 years younger when I started this channel. When do you live stream once a month? I live stream usually twice a week, sometimes thrice a week, sometimes just once a week. Every single Thursday, unless I'm literally out of the country. And then sometimes on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays, sometimes on like a Wednesday. I still watch your videos for updates and secrets. Man, the secret features, because Bedrock's such a weird place, every time, like, I miss secret features on console because there'd just be features that we could learn about by playing the game and finding them out. On Bedrock, every single secret feature turns out to be a bug. Like, again, many things I love about Bedrock. The quality of the testing, or the quality of something in the pipeline is not one of them. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's. So Ant Venom YouTube says Silk Touch books can drop special items if you hit stuff with them. That sounds like it makes sense to me because the book is technically enchanted with Silk Touch. Like, I don't know if it's true, but it sounds like it could be true. It's funny to me if it is. Jack Rizzer Village. But on Bedrock, there's a whole different system. I'll try it right now if you want anyway, though. Because that sounds like a thing that could be a thing. So this is a mending book. Let's see if we can find... You didn't change the Hewers command to 24 yet? You know, I'll leave it at 23 forever. That way, I can stay forever young if I just never update that. Do I have Silk Touch on any of these? There we go, Silk Touch. So this book has Thorns and Silk Touch. I'll see if it works on Bedrock, just for you. That's Dirt Block. There you go. Now we know. Easy as that. Look at that. Fixed things that easily. Thank you for the super chat anyway, though. Glad I could help fix your curiosity. Again, on Bedrock, everything's a bit different. A lot of things are better, different, etc. put together. A lot of people don't even realize that Java and Bedrock are separate, but then linked. Like, so many people don't know they're different, and then people who do know they're different think that they have no connections, but there's so many weird connections between the games. And yeah, it's kind of strange in that way. Okay, so we're going to repair our pickaxe, and then maybe a Silk Touch 5 one too, or Efficiency 5. Is this Efficiency 5? Oh, no, 4. Let's find an Efficiency 5 pickaxe. Let's get this going. This one right here. Let's repair this. And let's repair this one right here as well. So we'll make some more sticks. Can't make some more sticks. I guess we're just repairing one pickaxe today. Grab some diamonds. 1, 2, 3. And let's do this. Thank you, Addison Hubs. Appreciate the super chat. I'm always confused where these come from, but it's cool anyway. Your mic's in the face cam. Thank you for letting me know. I did not realize until just this moment. I, for one, certainly do not look at my Oh, that's 33. Yeah, we can't afford that. Let's go with this one then. And just like that, we're ready to go again. I probably should get another pickaxe ready and like put it in a chest or something. But that would require thinking about the future, which I, for one, don't want to do right now. So instead, we'll just take a regular silk touch pickaxe. Yeah, I mean, this is going to break anyway. Might as well get some use out of it, maybe. No, we'll take this one. There we go. Efficiency 3. It's a shame I don't have an efficiency 5 pickaxe to bring with me, but such is the way of the world, apparently. I've broken so many pickaxes. Like, look at the number of pickaxes I have here that are just broken in some way. It's rough. It's rough. So yeah, we'll take this one. No, wait, this one. This one with me instead. Let's go. So, how do you get so many diamonds? Says insert username. I go mining every now and then, and honestly, like, once you have diamonds and once you have fortune, and especially if you go searching around the end cities, like, diamonds come to you more than you need them, usually. That's my observation. I still need to get an Enderman XP farm going. Like, that's one of those long future projects that I guess I should work on at some point. Your opinion on pineapple pizza? Personally, I like it, but a lot of people hate it. Honestly, it's just like, it's not my favorite pizza. I used to be so anti it, but now I'm just like, just don't put it near me. You know, I've gone from, I've got the opinion that, like, bigoted people have these days about, like, I don't know, all the things that you can be bigoted against. But I'm bigoted against pineapples. That's a sentence that you probably shouldn't say on the internet. What's your favorite coffee order in Starbucks? I don't ever order coffee. Starbucks recently started saying in like the Frappa Mappuccinos, like, do you want it without coffee? I always say yes. Is a zebra a white horse with black stripes or a black horse with white stripes? It's its own animal, idiot. No, but more seriously, it's a black with white stripes, of course. No, I think white's more natural than black. No, black's more natural than white. It's black with white stripes. It's definitely got to be the thing. Yeah, that's, and also Starbucks coffee thing. Usually, like, I don't know, some form of lemonade, something like that. Like, I like spend one of my guilty pleasures. Like, I don't spend much on many things, but like when you spend £3.50 or something on a beverage, it does taste very good. It's all placebo probably, but it does taste very good. Thank you for the person who complimented my haircut. I missed you. And then 2Quick says, what's the large amount of diamonds you have collected in one day? I definitely had a day where I collected like close to 100 diamonds. I still have like a bunch of diamonds stored up. One day I'll have to do like a big diamond breaking haul. That sounds like it'd be kind of fun. Pineapple on pizza needs to burn in hell. Use the elytra to go through the tunnel or sprint. Or I could get some blue ice and make a boat through the tunnel. Isn't that a fun idea? Wow, how would I get some blue ice? If only there was a way I could do that. I wish I could come up with some method for obtaining a huge amount of blue ice. Do any of you have any ideas about how I could perhaps do that? By the way, where am I? Oh, there's the... Okay, let's fly back this way. I don't know where I was about to fly, but to the wrong place, apparently. Have you made a super smelter / furnace? So I've got a mega smelter, and then I've also got a an auto smelter in the mega smelter. I've got a lot of smelting things going on. I learned there's a school for auctioneers. I mean, auctioneers had to learn somewhere, right? Makes sense to me. Thank you for the super chat, though. Do appreciate it. You know, let's go for a little bit of silk touch free, with efficiency 3, sorry, and then we'll treat ourselves with an upgrade to efficiency 4. Honestly, chat, tell me if you can spot the difference. This is efficiency 3, and this is efficiency 4. Do you honestly think it's faster, or do you think we're just imagining it? How about pineapple on pizza Pringles, says Ruth. I believe that gets you blocked, that message right there. Pineapple does belong on pizza. Hey, good to see you, Jira. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening. Oh, it's about to be Monday. In 1 minute, it's midnight in the UK. Everyone say happy new Monday. Happy new day. Yeah, happy new day. Okay, everyone. Let's get a countdown going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy new day. Or, depending on where you live, happy new hour. Look at that. It's the 15th of July now. We're officially halfway through the month. Isn't that big? I think that's big, personally. Like, I think the small milestones, you need to celebrate them too, rather than just being like, happy new day. I love it. I love it. It's already Monday in Australia. Look, I know Australia lives in the future. You can't hold that over all of our heads, though. But yeah, I want to go back to a previous point, because I was talking a little bit earlier about how, like, if we were going to design society from scratch, we wouldn't do it the way we do. But I think the reason history is so important is because it helps you understand that, like, society was built by people before you. And I hate when people say, like, well, then you owe them something. You don't necessarily owe them anything, but you do need to acknowledge that they exist and they built it that way for a reason. Like, everything, besides nature, you can look at nature and just be like, man, plants are just stupid. Every time I look at, like, a Venus flytrap, I'm like, what is this? Every time I look at bananas as they naturally grew, I'm like, this is wrong.
I got bored and somehow watching you mine ice is entertaining.
Hey, thank you for the 999 super chat. A lot of people like seeing the projects live, which is surprising to me, but I think it's kind of therapeutic to see someone else play Minecraft. Because in the same way you can, it's like that progress thing of like seeing something slowly happen, but it's happening in the form of a Minecraft build. So like, I understand why it's therapeutic, why it's good. I actually do perfectly understand it to some extent. But I also think it's crazy that so many of you come over here and watch that makes the stream so successful. But yeah, going back to my previous thing, I think history helps you understand that, like, you are born into the world because someone put you here. And the person that put you here was at least 10 to 20 years older than you, sometimes older than that. They had all those years where they were on Earth, but in those 10 to 20, 30 years, they were here from people before. Like, there's a continuity in society that explains a whole bunch. And when you realize that, like, it was 4 generations ago that young people would have been, like, wondering about, like, so what's the deal with this Hitler fella? What's the deal with this Stalin guy? I reckon he's a bad apple, or, whatever else. When you realize that enough generations back, because when you just hear about the Romans in abstract, it's like, oh, there were these really wacky people. When you realize there's a direct link between you and them, you're like, oh, so these people, they are humans too. It's kind of like psychology in a way, history, realizing that when you put people in specific situations, under specific conditions, like it's, we can't perform experiments on humans. I wish we could. It would be inhumane, but we could advance humans so much. If we could just work out what causes depression, or like, if we could work out how much your life is affected by having abusive parents, or if it is, maybe honestly having abusive parents is good. We don't know for sure because we can't abuse children or like ask people. There's a lot of things that we could do to do proper studies, do some terrible things to get some stuff done, but we can't. So the best thing we can do instead is look at every single thing that's ever happened to people and work out why the bad things happened, why the good things happened, what happened from there. You can look at the fact that Singapore, for instance, is a 70-year-old country, went from nothing to the richest country in the world. Why is that? You can look at, for instance, a lot of the former British territories in the Middle East went from being basically non-existent places to places ruled. Why are they rich and ruled by princes? Like learning through history makes you realize what's going on there. Why did some of the worst things in history ever happen? Let's not repeat that. In the same way, like, when you grow from a relationship, like, when you break up with someone, you realize, like, oh, let's not go through those steps again. Let's not have that same thing happen. You should have the same thing happen with, I don't know, like, your elected leaders, or with any form of government thing in the world. We can't as humans. I wish we would. Basically, Toycat said, for kidnapping people, then taking them into mystery. Honestly, I'm not good enough scientist to perform experiments on people. But I'm just saying. Here's the crazy thing. So the worst experiments we've ever performed on people that I'm aware of. There's something called like experiment 155, 935. I want to say. It was a Japanese experiment group where basically a part of the Japanese military, I think it was during the war period, was just allowed to perform any test they wanted on humans. So they were given subjects. I think it was mostly like slave labor and stuff. And they're like, hey, you can do anything you want here if it helps the military. So they did loads of ridiculous tests, like how many meters away can a grenade kill someone from? So someone killed, like, they drop a grenade 5 meters away, kills them. 10 meters away, kills them. 15 meters away, kills them. 18 meters away, still kills them. 20 meters away, severely injures them. Oh, make sure to throw your... I guess 18 meters is a lot, but they could work out the precise distances for things like that. Did you know the German anthem is the German Sarah? 115 and 935 is from called Zombies. I think it actually is called 935 though.
I forgot to mention, your green screen is top quality.
Hey, thank you, T99. I don't know if that's sarcasm, because, like, my chair goes through it. But I appreciate it if it's not sarcasm. And you know, if it is sarcasm, I appreciate the 1999 anyway. Thank you, T99. Appreciate it a lot. Like, I'm always shocked by... Because when people enjoy something, and when people financially decide to support something, there's like a disconnect between them sometimes, and it's really hard working out what, you know, I don't know, 1.1 million subscribers means, or what 1,000 people watching means. Because, like, how many of those people just turned off their computers, or how many of those people are here because they're like, you know what, it'd be rude to leave at this point. But when you see something like that, it's like someone's like, yeah, I've got a message I want to send, and you know, I like it this much. It means a lot when anyone does that. Any tips for fighting the Wither about certain PE? If you're fighting on normal or harder, I think jump potions are useful. It's something I still need to do in Minecraft. I need to like test like the best way to fight the Wither. Again, it's like a video project idea, maybe. Mine water, not ice. What a solid idea. Or rather, what a liquid idea, am I right? Ho ho ho. Hey, so again, first time I've caught your streams, want to say I love your videos. Thank you very much. Appreciate the nice words. Who else felt the earthquakes in California? Here's the crazy thing. I apparently follow so many people from California that I learn the moment there's an earthquake there. And it's like, what is that all about? Whew. Hey, so Cat, watching a video about playing Minecraft, about mining or crafting. I was wondering, could you not have bought... This is my first stream sneeze in the world. I don't think I've ever sneezed on camera before. If you wanted to know, that's how I can sneeze and talk at the same time. I've never even tried that before. I've literally never tried talking into my sneeze. But now you know, it is a thing that I can do. Hey, thank you T99 for becoming a sponsor. You're my favorite robot from the Terminator movies? Maybe? Appreciate the super chat anyway. Toycat is the reason why I'll be tired tomorrow, says PlenXX. The good news is, there's only a few minutes to go. The bad news is, there's only a few minutes to go. This is my second stream I've caught. The first ice mining stream was my first stream, says Magyarsk. You know, there's something about ice mining that attracts you to streams, I can tell. Your favorite thing in a stream is when there's a lot of ice being mined. You know what I really wish? You just shovel the snow and be done with it. So the one reason I'm cautious about shoveling the snow is because if it snows here in the iceberg biome, I'd have to shovel it all up again. And I just kind of don't want to deal with that. Like, to me, that sounds like a big burden. Maybe I'm the crazy one here. Totally admit that's a possibility. Bless you, says Blocks Disaster. You know, in the same way I appreciate when someone decides to give $20 because they like the content that much, I feel very confused when someone decides to give $5 because they wanted to say bless you that much. You know, maybe that tells me that nothing means anything anymore. Maybe it's worthwhile. Is the inefficiency of the mining bothering anyone else? Says Nick Bergnon. Oh, you don't like the mining technique? Oh, maybe I'll do this for a little bit instead. You like this? You like this mining technique? You think that was efficient? That was good? There you go. You schmeb. That's a new word just for you. You're a schmeb. It's somewhere between pleb and schmeckel. That's you, man. That's you. That's what you've done to me. This is what global warming does to the Earth. Damn straight it is. So yeah, without going over too much of the same things over again, because it's something that's been happening. I just wanted to say that, yeah, Minecraft recently, I've been really focused into it. And I really think that one of the coolest things is seeing progress. And that's something you can actually get from a lot of real world things. That I think is the one root cause for why a lot of people, you know, aren't not successful, but like there are so many things that people want to get done, but don't do. You know, I really want to do this, and then you don't do it. And I've always wondered, why is there a disconnect between what you want to do and what you do? Surely what you want to do should be the things that come to mind first, right? Like when you're working out what you're gonna do, you should work out what you want to do. But that's not actually what you do. What most people do when they trying to work out what should I do now, is they try and do what's easiest. Like there's a path of least resistance that your brain tries to follow, and there's good reasons that we evolutionary have that, or whatever. But it's also kind of strange that like, so I want to do this, but yet I'm not doing it, question mark. You know, it raises some questions. It makes you wonder, like, so why is the deal with that? And I think, honestly, progress is one of the reasons why not. Like, if you work on something, and at the end you don't see some difference, it doesn't feel good. When something's hard, you want to know at the end that it was worthwhile. Because there are some things that are easy don't need to have any payoff. When you're done watching this stream, because I don't know if watching this stream is easy or hard for you. I assume it's easy. You can tell me. Like, hearing Toycat talk about, you know, killing humans or whatever, maybe that's not so great. Hey, Dabcat.
Sponsor emote.
I'm glad you like the Dabcat. I'm telling you, best sponsor remote in the world. Try and prove me wrong. Appreciate the love and the super chats today, T99. How long have you been watching the channel for? When did you show up here? Tell me a little bit about yourself with these messages, because I feel like that's a fun thing to do. You should do a Monarch week-long experiment where you make the first person to join king/queen. You know, I like that as an idea. The problem is you have to make it someone who's going to be on all week, and that's hard to guarantee. I'd have to like vet them first in some way. I will say my next experiment, I can't reveal it, but I've got a fun idea. I'm looking forward to the next experiment. So yeah, that's a thing. Plot twist: global warming doesn't exist, and it's actually just Toycat going to the poles and mining with a damn pickaxe. Darn it, you caught me. You've worked it out. I am global warming. I'm not just showing you global warming. I am literally the personified version of global warming. You know, a lot of people like to say like I'm chaotic neutral, and you know that's probably fair enough, right? That's what global warming is too. It doesn't care about your feelings, your thoughts, your families, your emotions. Global warming is just there, or if you believe it's not, it's just not there, right? What kind of recording program do you use? I use OBS, both to record and stream. I used to use a different program to record, but honestly, it failed so many times. I was like, my streams don't ever seem to fail me, so I started using my streaming program to record videos.
I was way back on 360.
Hey, 360 days, man. It's crazy. Like, it almost feels like, you know, we have to say like back in those days. Like it's the same game, but Minecraft has undergone so many like versions since the 360 days that it's like, oh geez, remember the 360 days of Minecraft. Same with Van Orange here from the 360 days. You should start Bedrock Edition full-time server. I don't have any interest in like monetizing, like making that like a side business in some way. So yeah, I could do it, but I don't know. Maybe I should just do like a year-long experiment. Like, I made a server for a year, didn't tell anyone why it was. I don't know. That's a terrible idea. I think honestly, like, there are lots of people who are passionate about Minecraft servers, but I'm not one of them. I think one of the things that the world needs is for people to do things that they care about most. Either you need to care about it and do better than someone before you, or do it cheaper than someone before you, or something like that. I don't think I could do anything too unique in a Minecraft server. If I do come up with something, I'll do it, of course. But even though I know I'd make a lot of money, I've had so many huge offers, like $1,000 offers to make a Minecraft server in my name. But the reason I turn them down is because I try to do things that I think are good. The reason I published a book, despite it being a huge loss maker, is because people ask questions. I wanted to have a big, full, comprehensive answer to like, how do you travel so cheaply? The reason I'm going to work on something else is because I want to have like a fun, real thing that people can buy if they like me. Because a lot of people like supporting via super chats and stuff like that, but some people are like, no, I need, you know, a physical book to read, or so, you know, like some value is what they want. And I get that. Like, people feel different value from different things. A lot of people love the value that they get from this free content on the internet. A lot of people might prefer having a physical thing, but from someone they like, if that includes me. Do you ever feel like quitting your huge projects? Honestly, I used to do it a lot more. Since I started making videos from them, I feel more like I'm losing something like, oh, these people, you know, they'll know that I've given up on it, and it makes me feel a bit worse. There's a big psychological effect where see, look, it's snowing, and this whole, oh, it's not snowing here. Is that the shortest snow? Chat, have you ever seen that before? It snowed for a few seconds, and then it stopped. Oh, it's a rendering glitch, I think. But yeah, now this whole place is going to get covered in snow, I think. Or is it, actually? I don't know how that works. Mike muted. It's my favorite message in the chat. I might actually, like, put Mike muted on my list of blocked words. Because that's, like, my trolled people who think... Because it's not even a funny troll, like... No one ever believes it. No streamer ever believes the words Mike muted. And people are like, haha, let's try and do it. And it's like, no, you're the ones that are, you know, like, slow and, you know, like, missing some things in your head. If you think that works, you know, it's like, I wish I could tell people, like... Anyway, back to my point. But yeah, if you tell people about your goals, you're more likely to achieve them because you psychologically just feel more compelled to try. And I've always found that's kind of interesting, at least personally. So, Spider, thank you very much. But so anyway, while we've got, since chat's just saying Mike muted, we can move on. You know, I like a good opportunity to ignore chat because again, there's a lot of people in chat. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But instead of all of that, then I guess what I'll say. Also, is there snow appearing here? I really can't tell. I guess if it appears in random patches, we'd know, but I don't think it is. So, but yeah, your mic was muted once for an early stream. Yeah, it was, and I didn't believe people because I was like, haha, fun trolls. But that's the one part of the troll that actually makes sense. That's the one thing that's funny, when you can get people to not believe the real things. It's like the boy who cried wolf, and then there's actually a wolf when you cry wolf. That's funny, I guess, you know? I don't know. You know, I'm going crazy, and I'm always going crazy. But that's the beauty in live streams. But no, I've always, when you tell people about your goals, you're more likely to achieve them because humans are social animals, and there's so much. It would be cool in the modern age, like, realistically speaking, you don't need people for much. Like, you need the system of what people have built together, but you don't necessarily need individual people in 2019, especially in a big city. You don't need to ever speak to someone in a non-professional capacity. But there are so many parts of our brain, our life, our system, our habits that have evolved over the concept of, oh yeah, you do need to speak to people actually. Like, you know, you should speak to people, this, that. And one of those things is like, we feel, you know, compelled to do things because we tell them people about things. And it's weird that it's a thing, but take advantage of it. Tell people about all the goals that, tell people about all the goals of the thing. Also, we're muted, not so cat. Yeah, exactly. Now I'm going to mute chat for a bit. I'm just going to talk about my own stuff. And I'm just going to say, you know what? How about we talk about what Toycat wants to talk about today? I guess that's every live stream, isn't it? How about we talk about something, you know, real talk with Toycat here. Why don't we talk about the fact that sometimes achieving your goals feels really good, but not achieving your goals feels really bad. And that duality is really brutal sometimes. Sometimes you really want to do something, and not doing it just makes you feel awful. And I've never known if the correct response is like change, you know, because there are some things I wish I'd do more that I don't, you know. I don't exercise as much as perhaps I should, or like I set the goal of eating well every day so I can save up and eat myself like 2 pizzas put together like a burger. It's something that I think about sometimes, but then, oh wait, one sec. But then I never really achieve, and it feels really, really bad at the end. It feels so awful when you want to do something, and then you just don't. And then you tell yourself, oh, I wish I'd do that. Next time I'll do it. And then you still don't. And I've always wondered if at some point you should give up, or if you should always hold the dream true. Like, if giving up is just, you know, failing even more. Like, is there such a thing as failure, or is it just delayed success? And of course there's such a thing as failure. But like, you know, if failure is when you give up on something entirely, whereas, you know, if you believe you'll do something one day, then maybe that's a thing. But at the same time, I think it's stupid to believe in things that you know you'll never do. Like, people who say, like, I'm going to do this as soon as the money comes in, but making no plans for the money to come in, that's just dreaming, you know? That's just making up... That's just mentally doing things. Because the most fun part in any... the most fun part of any goal is the initial thought of coming up with what you want to do. Because, you know, like, it's fun to dream. That you can get so much of the gratification from achieving a task by believing it in your head, right? It's kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah, chat's kind of wacky today. You know what, chat? Tell me why. If you're someone here who's normal, who's good, at the end here, chat kind of got like less fun. It got more hostile. It got a little bit. I don't know. I would say weird is a good word for it. What do you reckon caused that? I've always wondered why chat, because the wacky thing about being a streamer is the quality of what makes a good stream a bad stream really depends on a good chat and a bad chat sometimes. Like, you can have streams that are amazing because, you know, like, there are people there that are having fun with you, and there are some people that don't. What do you reckon makes that? As someone, you know, like, again, this isn't like a scolding or whatever, but I always wondered why do you think it is, chat? Why do you think that sometimes chat's amazing, sometimes it's not? Do you think it is just people rotating in and out? Do you think sometimes, you know, maybe there's something you say, maybe it's this or that? Because I've always wanted to have streams that are just always good. Like, one of the things I've always appreciated is that people who watch my channels seem to enjoy good discussions more. Rather than having the surface level discussion of like, what's your favorite color? It's like, so Toycat, what do you think? The person who asked about marriage. It's a weird question to ask me, but sure. The person who asked like, I don't know, there was a few other good questions. It's like, oh yeah, we usually get those. Why do things go up and down? I don't know for sure. Honestly, it's because honestly, people building on others, honestly. It's crazy though how fast it can build one way or the other though. Like, if everyone in a live stream is being great, people join in, they're like, oh yeah, let's join in on that. If chat is just like, your mic is muted nonstop, how do you deal with that? And that's, by the way, why we have mods usually. Like, if people start like dragging chat in the wrong direction, you usually need people to drag it in the right one. It's kind of like real life where you can talk about anything, but you still shouldn't talk about some things. Like, there's this really wacky polarization. Like, you know how there's always a debate on the internet about, oh yeah, should you refer to someone by their preferred names? Or like, should you talk about certain issues in front of people who've had experience with traumatic things? And the answer, you know, like, a lot of people try to say you should never talk about those things ever. And again, that's kind of the blanket generalization of rules. But I also think that the reality of the rules, reality of conversation, is you can say anything all the time, but you should use discretion. Like, for instance, you know, like on the, should you refer to someone the way they want to be referred as? Yeah. You know, like, tell someone any name, and you can call them that. That's how things should be considered. Like, you should always be polite to people, and not, even when you're not forced to. But also, you shouldn't feel like you have to say those things to people. That's why I've always thought it's like the easiest compromise between everyone in the world. Like, you can say anything, but at the same time, sometimes you shouldn't say everything. But yeah, Shrek out of ice or shame. Toycat's inner politician is is kicking in. No, but I that's not even like that's not even a political thing, right? Like the political stance would just be like, you know, pick the side which has the most people who are agreeing with it, because we live in a polarized world, right? Where it's way more popular to people like principles, even if they're principles they disagree with, which is crazy to me, but it's a thing that is true. At least it seems like. The political stances be like, you know what I'm really in favor of is, you know, like, I'm really against war all the time. Anti-war is way more popular than pro-war on any particular thing, right? You never get, you know, votes by being pro-war, but also at the same time you should say things like, well, there are clearly reasons why you need to go to war sometimes. World War II was a justified war, I would say. Or, you know, like, there are a few, the Kosovo, the Grenada, there's a few different examples of things that were pretty good ideas, and I think that there are sometimes you need to say those things. Anyway, we're going way off track. I would say about 60% of this chat is nonsense. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think that's why you generally, I think that's generally why mods are a good idea, because despite the fact that you can say anything, I think some people, especially on the internet, knowing that you can say anything, people learn that really quickly, but they don't learn the associated lesson that you shouldn't say everything. You can say anything you want, but you should choose what you say wisely. Because if the only thing I learn about you is like, oh yeah, you're the person who once joined in and said mic muted, or like there was a big chant to say something funny, you thought that'd be you. It's like, ah, you're that guy, are you? Whereas, you know, again, there are some names that you see on all these live streams over and over again. You know why? You know why? Because I recognize them. Because I'm like, hey, it's, you know, John Ox from Australia, or it's, You know, the bad llama ends that, you know, they're from New Zealand, but it's in their name. But like, you spot the frequent people, and you're like, they're good. You build reputation, rapport. I think is a good word for it. Slowly, you know, sometimes not even at all. Maybe you chat forever and it doesn't happen, but that's the benefit of being positive. That's the thing that comes along with that. Did you know that free men in Japan fought 30 years after the war? I did know that, actually. What are you planning to do with the ice? I'm going to turn it into packed ice. By the way, I've got some floating blocks here. Don't even know why, but I've totally got them here. The other week I was doing work experience as a carpenter. They didn't know I'd make money. I didn't know how I would get money, and I didn't really ask because it was considered rude. I haven't still got the money. Wait, so the funny thing is yeah, work experience is this kind of weird thing where, like, you're usually expected to do it free, I want to say, work experience. It's the weirdest concept where, like, hey, what if everyone was an intern for a bit and just did free work for companies? But some work experiences pay you. The only work experience I've ever done paid me £100 a day, which is, like, a lot if you live in the UK. At least, like, to me. I know some people probably scoff at that, go, oh, only 100 a day? That's only 2.8 thousand a month. I don't know what that would actually be. But that's a huge amount to me, like, from where I grew up. And I thought that was kind of cool. But most places are just like, nope. Anyway, so yeah, I've had a pretty good stream today. But I'm going to bring this to a rest because £100 a day. Yeah, exactly, right? I had to design an app. Like they were using it in meetings to just, like... Again, it was a major thing they did in their company, and they pawned it off on, like, someone who was in their company for, like, 3 days. I don't know why. I did this huge Windows 10 app for these devices that they had. They loaned me a device from the company that they were using. I had to install, like, some weird software to make it work. Like, again, I had a breakdown during this thing, but I did get paid well for it. You know, that made me realize that, you know, sometimes you get paid more. Sometimes you have a breakdown in exchange for that pay. But, you know, I'll have a breakdown any day of the week if that's how you get £100. Side note, if you want to give me £100, this is a live stream. That's a terrible message to end on. You know, actually, I'll leave that as my message. I'm feeling a bit, like, emotionally up and downy today. But I had a great stream until the last bit here. And at the end of the stream, it made me realize that, yeah, stream is something you've got to keep in check. It's not always good. It's not always bad. It's like life. There's ups, there's downs, there's sideways, there's lefts, there's right, and there's polar bears. I hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. I hope that you want to watch more of them one day in the future, because I need to bounce from here. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. I will be doing another ice mining stream, probably until I finish this entire iceberg place. Maybe not. I'm not too sure. But yeah, expect in the future to see something in this iceberg biome where I use up the last of these 2 pickaxes. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. You should look forward to it, unless you don't look forward to it. In which case, don't look forward to it. You know, it's a free world. Do what you want. Thank you very much for watching this thing. Like it if you liked it. Go watch Seed Sunday if you really liked it. And like I said, on Tuesday there's a new server video. Go try and be first person to watch it. It helps out, like, something numbers. And thank you, Tatiana, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye.